Hello everyone, welcome. It's Kavita from Red Door Yoga. Welcome to our mini sutras online. We're happy to see you again. We're happy to have you here if this is your first time. Today I wanted to answer a question that comes up relatively frequently when I'm teaching about Ayurveda. For those of you who don't know, I am an Ayurvedic yoga therapist and with the International Association of Yoga Therapists. And so this is a question that arises when I'm either teaching about Ayurveda or I'm with a student dealing with their imbalances, etc. So the common question that arises is, if I have cravings for whatever it is that because that's what my body needs? Now, while the question comes up usually related to the body, it can come up related to the mind, it can come up related to your energy aspects, and the answer that I'm going to give you is the same. It depends. Now, the good news is I'm not going to stop there. It depends. In order for me to explain this answer, I kind of need to explain the concept of disease in the body, dis-ease. So we all have a balance point, and we're going to put the balance point on this end of the spectrum. And I want you guys to picture in front of you a teeter-totter or seesaw. They call them teeter-totters or seesaws in Canada, which is where we are. And so I want you to picture a seesaw here. And on this end of the spectrum, that's balance. Okay. Now, according to Ayurveda, there's 6 stages of disease. And so over here on the teeter-totter, in the middle, you've got your pivot point. The first 3 stages lie here on this side. Okay. And that's accumulation, aggravation, overflow. Then you've got your pivot point, and then on this side of the teeter-totter, you've got relocation, manifestation, and diversification. You don't have to remember those stages at this point. But effectively, when you start to go out of balance, you're starting from balance here, and then you're starting to move into accumulation. Then if it's not corrected, it moves to aggravation. Then if it's not corrected, it moves to overflow. Then if it's not corrected, it moves to relocation, and then so on it goes. So when you're on this side of the teeter-totter, of the seesaw, if you were literally sitting on the seesaw on any one of these 3 points, your weight is on this side, and so the natural inclination for the seesaw is to tip this way. Basically, you have natural inclinations to go back to balance. So the cravings, the desires that you have that come up tend to be about getting back to the balance point. So in that case, yes, the cravings that you have, the instincts that are coming up in you are actually usually telling you what you need to do. Think about if I ate a big piece of chocolate cake and then it was a little too much and I'm finished and I'm like, I do not want to see chocolate for a year. That instinct that comes up that goes, no chocolate, no more cake, no more sugar. That instinct is because I'm over here in my imbalance, and it comes up and goes, you need to actually get and move away from that substance in order for you to come back to balance, in order for the system to feel okay, your mind to feel okay. Okay. But if I continue along and I make it over to this side of the pivot point, now the easiest thing for that seesaw to do is to tip this way, go all the way to the end point. And by the way, all the way to the end point is to fulfill the potential of that disease. And sometimes the potential of that disease is death, okay? And so you might have, now when you're on this side, you're going to have cravings and desires and instincts that are the exact opposite of what you need to balance yourself. It's actually exactly what you need to do to make yourself more ill. Now, sometimes this can happen really quickly. Think about when you are bitten by a poisonous snake. It moves from here over to that endpoint like that, okay? And so what can happen is you don't even notice these stages. You don't even notice necessarily an inclination on this side. You just notice, what you're tending to do over here. I'll give you a really good example to understand this concept. If we take a look at hyperthermia. So when you're first starting to suffer from hyperthermia, what's happening is the body's getting cold. And over here, you're rubbing yourself, you're moving around, you're trying to find shelter, you're pulling your clothing closer to you, okay? And that continues while you're in these stages. But as you slip over to this side, you're now starting to feel warm. You're starting to feel hot even. And, you're stripping your clothing off. You're deciding you're going to lie down naked in the snow. So, very often you can tell someone who's died from hypothermia when you find them, because they're, to give you that, they're lying naked in the snow. They've actually done everything possible to make themselves freeze. And it's because they've gone over to this side of the disease, and now every instinct that's coming up for them is to fulfill the end potential, which in this case is death. So I'm kind of pointing this out here because it's important to understand that we can't just blindly move forward into a craving that we have. It becomes important for us to start to see, where are we on the spectrum of disease? Okay, and again, that goes for your body, that goes for your mind, that goes for your energetic aspects. Okay, I hope that was helpful, everyone. And again, please, if you've got questions, put them in the comment section. We love hearing from you. If you think someone you know might benefit from hearing these mini sutras, please do share it far and wide. We'd love to actually reach a further community around the globe. It's our pleasure, and it's our dharma. It's our service duties to the world. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste.